Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been just about any place else, and you chose to spend some time with me. I really, really, really am grateful for that. And also, something I say a lot, but I haven't said it recently. Thank you so much for trusting me to do this work. Um, there are other online communities out there, but very few of them have the type of connection that we have with our charities, with the Sussexes, and with each other. So, if I had to be a part of any community online, I would definitely choose this one again and again and again. And so, with that, let me just say a very warm Connie Bomber! Hey, Connie Bomber, thank you so much for being here. Let me see who else is here. Classy LaCroix, Gwendolyn Daniels, Carol Lunn, and a bunch of other people. By the way, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Marjorie Austin, wow, it's been a while, hasn't it? You know what I didn't notice, but someone pointed it out to me? Those weird cryptic numbers that we were seeing, they're gone. I did not even notice the difference until someone said something. Well, well, well. I'm so glad for that because that was just weird for no good reason. And I don't know how many times I said Kennedy. Wasn't it something before Kennedy? Helen. Um, no. Oh, um, Kathleen. No, no. Well, of course it was Antoinette. See what I mean? Um, I was really losing my way. So I'm so glad they worked that out. However they worked it out, I didn't do anything. It just fixed itself. Um, all I can say is remember my microphone was messing up, and several people were like, "Dan, you trying to get a new microphone? You need a new microphone." And I'm just like, eh. And somehow the microphone fixed itself. See, you have to have faith. You have to have faith. Yes, your faith should always be stronger than your fears. Gotta have faith. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, by the way, for members only, I posted a video about 20 minutes ago. Um, I posted a video about 20 minutes ago for members only. So if you are a member, you can watch that at any time. Otherwise, it's going to be available to everyone later. But that is one of the privileges that comes with membership. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be all bougie, but you know what I'm saying. There's a little membership there, a little privilege with the membership. I mean, after all, this is Royal Sussex, and well, I mean, we have our privileges as members. That's all. Okay. Pretty cool picture, right? And of course, I added a little bit to it, but yeah, you can see it. This is Harry at the what is the name of that place? Oh my goodness! Let me open up another screen so I can see what you all are looking at. Okay, now it's time for all good men start talking to one another. Okay, here we go. Try to find the peace within without stepping on one another. And do remember the women of the world. They could, because they are something your mothers. We gotta make this land a better land than the world that we used to live. I don't forgot the words to that song. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well we can work it out. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Why don't you if you want to? Yes, you can. All right. I know we can make it. My goodness. You know, I say this all the time, but this time I'm for real. I got a gazillion screens open. That cannot be good. Let me see, what can I close? I just don't want the computer to slow down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like busy prepping. And anyway, it's just too much stuff open. So give me a second to close some of this up here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Why is it so much stuff open? Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Y'all know I'm sitting up here reading something. I'm like, what? Okay. All right. That should do it. That should do it. I don't need to close anything else. All right. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Kaban Slim says, could you imagine if Meghan shows up with Harry? Pandemonium. Now you stop reading my mind because I was thinking that the big what if, you know what I'm saying? So somebody can show these royals how to dress, show them how to conduct themselves like a lady. Yeah. Show them how to get in and out of a car without looking like a pack of raw chicken. Yeah, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be the Duchess of Sussex. All right. All right. That's enough of that. So, anyway, this place is Prince Harry to visit Nottingham as he returns to UK for first time in 5 months. Prince Harry will revisit a community recording studio in Nottingham as he returns to the UK for the first time in 5 months. The Duke of Sussex, who is no longer, gosh, I hate this part. He is a working royal and he works hard, darn it, is set to carry out a run of engagements on his trip over from the United States of America, where he lives with his wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And where do they live, you guys? Where do they live? They live in sunny Montecito, where there are no leaks. There are no leaks in Montecito. That's where they live. They live in a place where there's no leaking and no briefing. Just 4 royals, children included, 5 if you count Queen Doria. There are 4 to 5 royals, depending on who you ask, that are manning their own cotton picking business and staying out of other folks' business. That's what they're doing. They manning their business. Anyway, the Duke will be in London on Monday, September 8th, the 3rd anniversary of the late Queen's death, for the annual Well Child Awards, a cause close to his heart as the charity long-standing patron, before traveling to Nottingham on Tuesday, September 9th. Well, here's a few images from Nottingham, right? Can't wait for that. All right. And it continues here. It says, Harry's last visit, the community recording to the last visit at the community recording studio in the city St. Anne's area to mark World Mental Health Day in October of 2019. So these images are from October of 2019. You guys, do you see a couple of starstruck young ladies and one young man back there, and possibly two young men, the two fellas and the two ladies there? I mean, they're just kind of like, wow, that's Prince Harry. Um, anyway, just 2 months before he and the Duchess of Sussex announced they were stepping down as senior royal working royals, that is, and moving to North America. So yes, this was 2 months before Harry and Meghan said, you know what? Take this job and shove it. That is an expression from the past. Yes, take this job and you know what to do with it. You can stick it where the sun don't shine, because we are out of here. He's planning to hold a private briefing with children in need, the Police and Crime Commission, the CRS, and community outreach group Epic Partners in Nottingham. Stage informal catch ups with some of the young people he met before, and watch performances from the CRS artists and make a short speech. The Duke appears to be focusing on his philanthropic ventures, while the Duchess of Sussex, who is not expected to join him on the trip to the UK, has been working on her lifestyle brand as Eva and promoting the recent launch of her second season of her Netflix show. The Duke is hoping to bring together key stakeholders, influencers, and potential funders to shine a light on the work of grassroots organizations such as CRS and Epic Partners and the sports apprenticeship body Coach Corps. Coach Corps was originally started as a program by Harry and his brother, and the now shady muskrat brown haired sister-in-law to help change to help change the lives of and train young people, like hair colorists and hairstylists. I mean, if anything comes out of this charity that is of note, I hope that they can train some of these young people to create perfect hair colorings and good haircuts and such. That's what I'm hoping that's coming out of this, along with the other things like other stuff. But really, a focus on the I guess the salon world, beauty industry, seeing what we went through this past week, where someone walked out with a fright wig on this close to Halloween. Hey, how many princesses of Wales do you think we'll have for Halloween? I kind of picture some people with like a blazer, some flats, and hair that gets caught in the ceiling fan. You know what I'm saying? Hair so big it looks like it ought to be in a drag races, RuPaul's drag races. That's what I'm expecting to see. I want to see some I want to see some Kate Middleton lookalikes. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh my god, that would be so funny. That would be so funny. I mean, Timu is going to run out of cheap wigs if they decide that they want to go as the Princess of Wales. And don't forget, you also have to kind of cover up one of your eyebrows and then draw it about 2 inches higher than the other. You got to do that too, and just grin a lot. Yeah, you just grin. Okay. It has since become an independent charity. Harry and Meghan broke away from his brother and the girl with the big hair, Royal Foundation, in 2019 as rumors of a rift began to circulate. Hey, Church Nelly. It is not known whether the Duke, who is estranged from his brother, the Prince of Wales, and has a troubled. Anyway, I don't feel like being bothered with that. The King, who is currently at Balmoral in Aberdeenshire, and that Queen cohort have no public engagements planned for this week. Well, they said that Charles doesn't like to plan anything on a session day. Traditionally, on a session day, I think Queen Elizabeth would go to church to pray, and Charles, he probably is going to do what he was doing when his mama was slowly slipping away, and that is go out and forage for mushrooms. Very supportive, isn't he? Harry and Charles first. Well, I think I'm done with this. Yeah, because all the rest of it is just shade. Yeah, it's just shade. So I'm done with that. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex, for being a moderator, and for and your membership for, let me see, oh gosh, you have to be like over what, 45, 46 months, something like that. Well, anyway, I do thank you, and I really, really appreciate all of the support for Royal Sussex. Okay. Let's go through some more of these photos. By the way, you guys, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Oh man, those were the good old days. You know, when I first, I don't know how else to say it. When I first fell in love with Harry and Meghan, I just wanted to see them travel the world and see the way people respond to them, and all I could think about was all of the good that they were going to do for this world. And they are doing amazing things for the world. But it is outside of the glare of the royal family where they don't appreciate hardworking people. They don't want to work, but they don't want you to work either. Very strange the way that works out. Let's see. Come on. Sim says British media are so desperate, they're at the airport stalking the gates to get a glimpse of Harry. Thank you for the super chat. I thought about that too. You know what? We are kind of on the same wavelength today, and I think I like that. We are really thinking alike. I was just wondering about that. Like, how many people do they have waiting at the airport? And of course, Harry usually enters through that royal lounge. They have an area there that is just for the royals. Like that time when Meghan needed to make a connecting flight, and she got off of one of the planes. She disembarked at Heathrow and waited for the next flight that I think it was the one to take her to Nigeria, right? So yeah, so she just waited there patiently. She never left the airport. She never left the airport, which I thought was just wicked and funny. I loved it. I loved it. And you know what? Next time that Meghan does take a trip to the UK, I think that she should take some of those flour sprinkles and just for good measure, sprinkle some of those as a way to, keep trouble away from her, evil spirits or whatever. Yeah, just kind of take some of those flour sprinkles and, you know, that will rid them. Which, by the way, I used some flour sprinkles this morning and I'm like, you know what? I am just bougie. I love it. I love it. I feel so luxurious. Oh, that is so cute and adorable. That is adorable. H. Knight, how did I miss that? Happy Sunday to you too. 40 months membership? Thank you for being here for 40 months. I really do, really, really, really appreciate that. You guys have no idea how important these memberships are. With the rise of the what is it? The shorts. Yeah, with the rise of the shorts, it has kind of taken some of our audience away, I think. Like I met someone, I said, I have a YouTube channel. And do you know they watched a short, one of the shorts that I added, instead of watching, one of my 2-hour productions? And I'm just like, okay, I have to make sure that I remind people that you won't really get the essence of Royal Sussex like that. Yeah. I don't usually sing on those shorts. I could, but I'm having enough trouble keeping a crowd. Amy girl, thank you so much and happy Sunday to you too. Thank you so much for being here and thanks for being a member. Uh-oh. There go light skinned Harry showing people some of those dance moves that he's learned ever since he's been married to the Duchess of Sussex. Now remember, all of these photos are from 2019. So I know it's like, very cool to see all these photos, but just so that you guys know, this is from the last time that Harry visited this place, and that was back in 2019, 2 months before Harry and Meghan said, you know what, we're out of here. We're done. We're done. What a crowd for the Duke of Sussex. I wonder how much of that was, I wonder if Meghan is going to join him, but I don't think so. I don't think Meghan was there for this occasion. Very cool service animal. Right? And I love this picture. I love this picture. The fact that Harry just tucks in with everybody else and just kind of stoops down so that the other people in the photo could have their moment, giving them their flowers. I love that. That is a very common touch. Down to earth. Oh, yes, the donation. The donation. Let me find the proper thing for the donation so that we can get this right. Aha, there we go. So the Duke of Sussex will announce a substantial donation to children in need on Tuesday when he attends a charity event in Nottingham. The donation is intended to help support work tackling violence and its effect on young people. It is one of several engagements for Prince Harry during a visit to the United Kingdom, which has also prompted speculation on whether he might meet his father, King Charles III. The Duke, who lives in the United States with his beautiful wife, Her Royal Highness Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, also known as Princess Meghan, also known, it says it right here, also known as Meghan Sussex, Also known as a philanthropist, a humanitarian, an all-around great cook, um, like a sister to so many people. Um, I don't know how they fit all this in this paragraph. Was last in the United Kingdom in April for, I'm sorry, he was last in the United Kingdom in April for a court hearing over the level of security protection he receives from the government while here. In other words, his father, King Shady, let's see, words do matter. So Harry is bringing it to bullion. He's probably had it bullion coming for his charities. So yeah, so if you want to come for my charities, I'm going to come to you and embarrass you. I'm going to make you look very small, bullion. Um, and do recall, you guys, last September, Harry went to New York, a city so great they named it twice, New York, New York. He went to New York, and spent those days at the United Nations, and only to go on to London and then off to Africa. Now, William was supposed to go to New York, but in the 11th hour, he changed his mind. I think it's, oh, by the way, words do matter. Thank you for the super chat. He changed his mind because, well, his sense kicked in and said, you know what? You are no match for your brother Harry. He is going to work circles around you, and you are going to be so embarrassed. You're going to be small in the eyes of most people. So, better to sit this one out. Okay. And that's exactly what happened. But then that little, oh gosh, what is her name? Rebecca English, that monster, Rebecca English. Oh, I cannot stand her. She said that William actually told her some time ago that he could not make it to New York. Really? Covering for him, are you? Now, you all know darn well that William hadn't said anything of the sort, but she did not want him to be embarrassed, um, by Harry's appearance and, of course, him ducking out at the last minute. So she just kind of threw that in there like a little lifeline so that he could save face. But the truth is, we all know that he was frightened of his younger brother and did not want to be embarrassed by Harry going from room to room, place to place, and talking to all of those people who were enthusiastic with the idea that he was there. Um, Let me see here. I'm trying to find that. Okay, that's, you know what? I got so many of these things where Rebecca English is covering for William, giving him cover, much needed cover, so that he doesn't look totally ridiculous in front of everybody. Okay, let me check for a minute here. Oh, she's such a weasel. I cannot stand her. Works my last nerves. Uh-huh. Is that it? Nope. No, I went the wrong direction. Need to go this way. Huh. Okay, I give. I don't see it. But you know me, any possible way that I can call him out, I want to do it. But yeah, it was just kind of like a last minute thing. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I am still looking. uh okay, never mind. Let's keep going here. Oh, Joe Garcia says, Baron, do you recall Will and Kate ever giving a charity? You know, I've heard them say that they donated money for something and they would not give the amount. Just in the same way that Charles reportedly donated something and would not give the amount. So let me rest on that one. But I do seem to recall that those two said they were donating to something that was kind of like, to be honest with you, I don't recall. I do not recall. I may be confusing it with Charles, maybe. Or maybe I'm confusing it with the fact that William will not report his what he's paying in taxes. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So, nope. I guess the answer is no. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, I'm going to just say that the answer is likely no. I do not recall them ever donating something. I remember they brought those hard brownies and some other scraps that they got out of the Kensington Palace commissary. I remember they brought those pans of goodies from the Kensington Palace cafeteria or commissary. I remember that. But nope. I have to say, I do not recall. I have no recollection. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm taking it nobody won the $1 billion, the $2 billion. I take it nobody here has won that because if you have won the lottery, I would appreciate the mother of all super chats. Matter of fact, I don't even want the super chat. If you have won that lottery, I would appreciate the mother of all super stickers. I mean, the type of super sticker that I would probably take a month off. You know what I mean? Those kind of super stickers. If you have won that $1 billion lottery, not only do I expect the mother of all super stickers, I also would like to have my my Amazon gift list completely gone if you won that big lottery. If you didn't, then let me see, what could I tell you? Don't play hard to get. Don't play hard to get. Everybody looks very sexy when they have a lot of money like that. But if you did not win that big money, do not play hard to get. Okay? Do not play hard to get. And let's see. Zandy Sussex says Prince Harry in the UK reminds everyone of the different type of royal engagement, one with a warm kind prince who has a genuine interest and connection with people. That's why he'll always be the people's prince. The people's prince. A lifetime supply of wigs and liquor. Well, I'm telling you, Church Nelly, there is a royal that appeared the other day that was wearing a lifetime supply of wigs. The thing is, she wore them all at the same time. And the weird part is the wigs were not even the same color. She had a a um a black wig, a brown wig, kind of a beige wig, even a little red wig. All of that she was wearing at the same time. I mean, is it a wig or is it wigs? Right? Is it a wig or is it wigs? Just imagine Oprah Winfrey saying, "Were you silenced or were you silenced?" Right? So was it a wig or was it wigs? Lots of wigs. Kavan Slim says, "Do you know the reporters who will shadow Harry?" Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna picture that weirdo Matt, right? The one that was sitting too close to them at the Invictus games. I don't suspect Robert Jobson is going to try to shadow them because we are expecting a lunar eclipse soon. And if Robert Jobson go running around trying to shadow Harry, it is going to cause a lot of confusion in the science community. The astrologists are going to assume that their measurements were off and that the eclipse is happening sooner than they expected. Not to mention the fact that Robert Jobson is going to cause seismic activity to occur. So they're going to think that it is a new uncharted eclipse and some type of eruption of a volcano or something like that. So yeah, every time when Robert Jobson was a kid, every time he ran for the ice cream truck, it was like a 2.0 on the Richter scale. Okay, and that was when he was in third grade. So so yeah, imagine him trying to shadow Harry. It'd be like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Yep, be a big shadow. That'd be like the Chrysler Building trying to sneak up on you. Uh, Hen Pal, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, that'd be kind of like a Cadillac Escalade trying to creep up on you. And then, of course, even if Harry couldn't see him or his big shadow, you're going to hear him breathing. You know, you're going to hear him gasping for air. So he could not sneak up on you silently, and he certainly cannot afford to be casting shadows. I mean, imagine you're going out for a cup of coffee or dinner with your friends, and all of a sudden you keep hearing something. How do you make sense out of that? Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this right here. So again, Prince Harry dramatically extends UK activities in direct challenge to William. Now, that is the article which I used to base the video, the members only video. So, if you are a member, remember there is a members only video waiting for people who have a Royal Sussex membership. Remember, the Royal Sussex memberships are very reasonably priced for $4.99, which is what you might pay for a cup of coffee. Just once a month, you sacrifice $4.99. Do you know how far that goes in supporting Royal Sussex? Like this great quality microphone that I'm using. Do you guys remember when the other computer went out and I just went and got one and I'm using it right now, lightning fast? Those are the kind of things. And then, of course, it is the whole bean coffee that I have ground up day after day. I can't really enjoy that coffee without a huge chocolate chip cookie. So, those are the things that your $4.99 support. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lydia Washington. Let me post that at the top of the chat. There's a link for the official Royal Sussex membership. Okay, a couple more of these before we leave that topic. And then I got some cool history that I want to share with you guys toward the end for this Royal Sussex. Also, do not forget the Ginger Avenger. That is what we use sometimes as the intro or the outro, which means the ending video for Royal Sussex. Love that Ginger Avenger. I mean, it's like I cannot think of anything that I could do to improve upon that. So I just leave it the way it is. Now, Chris Jackson and Natasha Archer split while Kate Middleton's image falters. Well, you knew they had to blame somebody, right? You got to blame someone. Kate Middleton, well, I kind of imagine if you took a jointed doll and put it in the washing machine and then let it go through the indignity of the spin cycle, that is kind of like what we saw the other day. When that's bad when you walk out and everybody look at your head and say, "Is that AI?" I bet that's AI. That's exactly what happened the other day. First, there were audible gasps for air, and then the reality set in. Wait, she's not joking. That is her hair. I mean, it was like someone switched her conditioner for Viagra. It's like she it's like it's like it's like somebody put Viagra in her conditioner. Um and the thing I think I'll leave it there. But it seemed like somebody slipped a Viagra in her conditioner. And well, love lift us up where we belong, where the black roots show and the hair won't grow. Love lift us up where we belong, where the black roots show and the brown hair grows. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Uh, it was startling. It was jarring. When I looked at her hair, I just froze. You know how those lambs or is it goats when they get frightened, they get very rigid and they just topple over to the ground? That was my reaction when I looked at her hair. I froze. A very primal instinct kicked in. It's called fight or flight. All I could think of is that hair going to hurt me or should I run? Well, I'm getting to that age where I got about 2 good steps in me, and then after that, I got to rest. So running was out of the question. And that's when I thought, okay, I might have to fight for it or something. But yeah, that hair reminded me of like a stormtrooper's helmet. Yeah, that's what it. And she was serious. She'd come out there and she just smiling and had no clue how ridiculous she looked. It was actually kind of sad. So I guess that's what happened when people leave you, when your trusted aides decide that they're mad as hell and they just can't take it anymore. And then you go out there looking like cousin it. Remember the other day, the thumbnail, what the hell? I didn't know what else to put. I just said, what the hell? What do you say? I didn't know what to add to it. And then, of course, I thought about the North American muskrat. See how there's the different layers of color to his coat? You got some brown, you got some gray, you got some black, you got some beige, gold, or whatever. Just layers of it, which is a great camouflage. It really is. You know, um, the last time that salon really messed somebody up, that was when Sophie Wessex, remember they had that article that said that she went to Kate's. She went to Kate's hairdresser. Remember that article? And I didn't know what to say when I read that. I was like, she did. That was all I could say is she did. um, because it's not working out too well for Sophie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for Kate. So if it's not really working out for Kate, why send Sophie over there? I guess Kate decided I can't be the only one walking around here with my hair looking jacked up. So she sent Sophie over there. And I guess it don't matter because you know Sophie don't tip anyway. She ain't got no money. She ain't got no money. She's still bankrupt. Let me see. Where is that article? I want to show it to you. I mean, when Sophie West had come out of there, you would not know she had gone to a beauty shop. Let me see here. Where is that? I see everything but that. And she just looked angry when she came out of there too, like she had really been through it. Oh, there it is right there. And I guess after that, it was nothing to do but for your car to go jump up on the curb and run somebody down. You see there? Look at her. I mean, she looks humiliated. See there? Duchess Sophie spotted leaving Kate Middleton spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdresser with with new look ahead of coronation. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. That's how you going? Sure. Oh well. All I can say is I hope you're going to wear a bra this time. But the new Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, was spotted leaving a hair salon known to be frequented by Kate Middleton after appearing to have had her hair colored, her hair color refreshed, that is, ahead of King Charles' historic coronation next week. You see what I'm saying? I get the idea of wanting to get your hair colored, but how many colors how many colors you gonna get at one time? I mean, is it a discount if they grab all of those bottles with a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Is that a discount to let them do your hair with those partially empty bottles? Is that what where the discount comes in? You know, I'd be embarrassed if I had come out of a hairdresser's looking like that. I'd be embarrassed because people be like, "You should go get your money back." If I was you, I'd go back in there and get my money. I'm just saying. I mean, she just looked like she's been in a fight. Yeah, she looks rough. You know, it's not that I'm out to humiliate anybody, but I will never get rid of this. I'm going to keep this for the next time I need to reference what happened when unsuspecting Sophie went to Kate's hairdresser. uh, I would not take my schnauzer to that hairdresser. I would not take a Pomeranian. I wouldn't even take a German Shepherd to that hairdresser. Mm-mm. Oh well, nothing to see here, folks. So anyway, Kate emerged from the building and stood on the steps looking like that, and she didn't expect anybody to say anything. Like, I'm Kate, I'm perfect. I don't know what y'all talking about. That's what gets me is that you come out there looking like that and you expect everybody to take you seriously. I don't know if I got it in me. I'm not strong enough to do that. And the way it's like at the top is just, you know what I mean? The term I'm thinking of is wiggy. It looks a bit wiggy. Yeah, there you go. Call the exorcist. That'll take care of it. And okay, so in this article, oh yeah, you know what? I never did finish Feminagra. Let me go back to that. Wait, how did I lose my page here? Anyway, you get the point already. Is that we suspect that along with Archer, that Archer girl, that Natasha Arthur, that's her name, Archer. Archer's rise as Kate's copycat in chief. Archer began her palace career in 2010 as a Girl Friday, but quickly moved into shaping Kate's public image. Her styling choices, high street brands, and tailored coats, were often praised as modernization. Yet much of her work was less about originality and more about duplication. Commentators have long argued that Kate's wardrobe shifted after Meghan Sussex arrived, with Archer accused of echoing Meghan's hairstyles, silhouettes, and color palettes. And you know what really makes me angry when I think about this? You see the suit that Meghan is wearing there? That's Meghan, of course, on the left. She wore that suit the day that Kate was heavily pregnant, and I think they were in Amsterdam or someplace like that. And Kate wore this beautiful flowing gown, and Meghan did not want to do anything to distract from that, so she decided to wear a pantsuit, right? And even at the time, some of the royal reporters said, you know, that was a very generous gesture on Meghan's part because of the fact that Harry and Meghan went to a theater, uh, something, and that Kate was having a dinner in another country. That it was very generous of Meghan to, you know, wear something like that and not, dress up in something like a beautiful dress or something like that, a nice frock, as they say. And then what does Kate do? She turns around and tries to steal Meghan's thunder. I mean, she did not even wait. She didn't even, well, I mean, well, she did wait because you see there's February of 2023 compared to 2018. So that is a very good space and time, but still, we know what the intent was. But I have some others that I'm confusing because there's others that are more immediate. And here's one for you: the black turtleneck, the big leg pants, September 2022 and January 2023. And of course, this is the one right here. There's some expression about the taste in your mouth. That's what I think of as that expression, the taste in your mouth. I'll leave it there. But that's what I always think of when I see this because of that very it's stalker like behavior. That's what it is. It's acting as though you're a stalker. It is also a form of harassment. Um, some time ago, and I'll never say who, but I did something rather unique um, in my work. And almost the next day, I was confronted with it from someone else. And on other occasions, the same thing happened. And it just felt creepy. It did not feel like a compliment. It did not feel flattering. It felt creepy. And it made me uncomfortable. And it just kind of ticked me off because I'm just like, are you going to do everything that I'm doing? The answer, yes. Yes. It's very annoying. And of course, that look. And so those days when I say, oh, you know what? There's Kate down on all fours planting a flower while all these people are staring at her. That is so unfair. I kind of feel sorry for her. But I have to learn to not feel sorry for her because she's a very cruel, bitter individual, malicious. And there's a lot of things that has happened with Meghan where she could have used her voice. She could have even signaled by wearing something, you know, in solidarity instead of mockery. Or just pick up the phone or something. But Kate has been very cruel to Meghan. Meghan reached out to her in friendship. And we know this is true because Meghan is a girl's girl, always has been, always there to uplift other women. And Kate, listening to William, no doubt, but still responsible for herself, seemed to think that Meghan was supposed to show deference to her because she's a royal and she's so brilliant and she knows how to um, be regal and expose your nether regions all in the same day, entering or exiting a vehicle, walking down the jet bridge and you know what I'm saying? She's the only person who could go to a funeral and show all of her business, and tabloid media praise her for it. Not everybody could do that. That's her superpower. Okay, what do we have here? Uh Daniel Medical, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And I don't want to say the name, but RA, thank you so much for the Cash App. That was a very nice Cash App, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. And then there's this the grinning, the grinning, the grinning, the grinning. It is so inappropriate. You guys, I'm not just saying this, but the royal household is in mourning. They're in mourning. And the thing that is so jarring is that most people are not in hysterics. I'm not even sure what they're looking at. And the couple people that's laughing with her, are they humoring her or are they really looking at something? It's like I'm expecting someone to throw a sea bass and that she's going to catch it and go, uh. I feel like someone's going to throw a sea bass. A sea bass flung through the air and somehow she catches it and then vigorously, I don't know. I get that feeling that that's going to happen next. It looks like somebody got their as ever rose, doesn't it? And I mean the 2023 rose, not the one that they tuned it down a bit. The 2023 rose, that's what somebody has been working on. Look like they were up through the night doing the taste test. And so some of the squatties decided to share a few images that they have been hanging on to. There is something so disturbing about this. It is overreaction, overcompensating over something, but it is not normal. I repeat, this is not normal behavior. And then, of course, the exaggerated hand gestures, worthy of a Fosse musical. I mean, are you there to comfort someone, or are you there to do a rehearsal for 42nd Street? Okay, so everyone in that row is wearing black because they're in mourning. Catherine, Duchess of Kent, has passed away. The flags are at half mast, and Kate could not be more delighted. And the thing, what is it? What was it? Rugby? What is she laughing at? You would think that this was the Royal Variety or something. This is some kind of sports event, wasn't it? I feel like someone needs to do an intervention or something. Even William just kind of turned away in despair. He doesn't know what to make of it. He's probably embarrassed. The kid has cast his eyes to the ground, and Kate is. It'd be different if this happened occasionally, but not every time. What's wrong with her? Nash Singby, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for joining us here on Royal Sussex. I don't know, you guys. I just feel like if these were the old days, it would involve a straitjacket, one of those ambulances that look like a station wagon, and lots of screaming. Because I'm telling you, one has just flown over the cuckoo's nest. And then, of course, I had to dig this up. Preparing food for the homeless. Ha ha ha. Visiting children. What is that? Palliative care? I'm not saying it right, Emma. Also humorous. Holocaust Memorial. Never been more amused in my life. And honoring veterans. There's been a few years where she has stood up there in the window on the veterans such and such and whispering to Sophie. I don't know what they talked about, like, oh, Sophie, I see they messed up your hair too, huh? Right? I told you. I told you they always mess your hair up. That's why they do it for free. Yeah. Well, don't worry. I mean, you didn't lose any of it and you didn't even get your ear nicked this time. So, yeah, I guess that's what they're up there whispering about. But yeah, the I would like to say none of this stuff would be happening if Queen Elizabeth was still alive, but that's when we saw all of her business, was when the Queen was alive. Speaking of the Queen, oh, wait, where are you here? Did I miss you? Um, And Facts and Two Cents is here somewhere, right? Oh, I got to go back pretty far, huh? And Lauren Brown is here. Hey, Lauren Brown, got that good rosé. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Kate. Oh man, this is like a reunion today. Well, anyway, Anne, I think you're here. I just saw they put your thing up there. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. I guess I'm going too fast. I must have slipped right past you there. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. Oh, Joseph Bruno, thank you so much for being here. Angela May. Nash wants to say hi to a few people. Yes, it's been a while. You guys, B10 Pow. Where is B10 Pow? I just thought about her when I saw Hen Pow. And that's not the same person, right? Where is B10 Pow? Didn't she say she was having surgery or something? I don't remember. Anyway, B10, if you can hear me, we miss you and we hope you are well. Okay, so about the Queen. Revealed the Queen cutting remarks when she discovered Meghan wasn't attending Prince Philip's funeral. And of course, this is from biographer Tom Barrow. Paints a solemn picture of the days surrounding Prince Philip's funeral in April of 2021 in his book, Revenge. Why are we talking about revenge? Did he revise revenge or what? Or do they just look back because they have nothing else to do? Or did they look back because Kate's hair color is very difficult to identify, let alone if it's her own hair? But there's something going on that they want to go back and I guess shuffle the chairs on the Titanic like that's going to help. When of course the only thing you can do is not hit that iceberg. The only thing you could do is not share the same beauty salon that Sophie Wessex used. That's another way that you can prevent disaster. I'm sorry, I just cannot stop thinking about it. I mean, who leaves a salon looking like that? Aren't you supposed to look like this on your way in, not on your way out? You know what I mean? This is supposed to be the finished product. Right. So if she looked like this if she looked like this coming out of the salon, what must she have looked like going into the salon? I submit my question for your consideration. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right, I understand. Oh, B10. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I got it. Yes, there are no leaks in Montecito. Okay, let me take that away. Why did I just have a whiff of gumbo? I was talking about gumbo, and it's just like I feel like I can taste it now. Oh, what I would do for a good bowl of gumbo. I used to make it, but I don't think I've made gumbo in like 20 years. 20 years I have not made gumbo, if longer than that. I think it's actually been longer, to be honest with you. Mm. Okay, let me get back over here. So, of course, when I saw this, they used another one of those photos that seemed to reinforce the idea that the Queen felt very, very angry about something. And yet, how easy is it for me to grab one of the photos from my collection and just put that photo right next to the article, and you could see nothing could be further from the truth. The Queen was not cross with Meghan. The Queen loved Meghan. Just like that whole business about Harry and Meghan using the Queen's nickname for their daughter. What a terrible way for a family, and not the press, but a family. And even if the family had nothing to do with the abuse that an infant child went through, wouldn't you suspect that a family would speak up on behalf of said infant child? No, they did not. Now, I'm not saying that they have to go and call a press conference and stand in front of a microphone, but do something. But Charles and William, blood royals, they stood back and let the press go to war with an infant child over a name that she did not select for herself. I could not believe it. Who does that? You're going to war against a child over a name. I mean, I'd rather have you know, Kate not even bother because she's so shady. Who knows what would come out of her mouth? But any type of acknowledgement or solidarity. But as Megan said, one of these days, my children may actually read some of these things. And then maybe little Charlotte will say, Mommy, did did Aunt Kate try to help? Did she say anything? Did she defend me at all? And Megan is going to look directly at her and she is going to quote Kate Middleton word for word. She's going to say, well, you know what? She said,
well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things,
and little Lily's going to say, Mommy, what is this day and going forward and things? and Megan's gonna have to say it again. Well, she said,
and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So,
and then of course, little Lily is going to say, "Mommy, what did they achieve?" And Megan's going to have to tell them the truth. Well, there was something about early years. I know that, and it was something about a child's brain, and of course, Megan's going to have to confess that she called Aunt she's gonna have to confess that she called Aunt Katie baby brain. Um So, I mean, full disclosure, she's gonna have to say, I maybe it's because I called her baby brain. I don't know.
A lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
So, pretty much a quote from uh, Catherine. All of them pretty much sound the same, going forward and this and that. And to be honest with you, I can tell that Kate Middleton, even though we have to wonder sometimes how does she feel about people of color, I know she is a huge fan of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg because somewhere in that lengthy explanation, she mixed in the words to next episode.
Going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family.
You see, they're like this and like that, and like going forward and things and that.
Going forward and things. It is this day, and
See what I mean? You could just barely hear it, but the lyrics, the rap lyrics of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre is woven in there so tight that you can barely hear it. But I could hear it.
Going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful.
It's like this and like that and like going forward and
family. The members who I've met have achieved.
You see what I mean? And this and like that and achieved a lot. You can just barely hear it, but I could hear it. I can hear Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. So really, Mumbles was ahead of her time, or at least she is of that time. She's not in it or of it, but she was definitely influenced by it.
A lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
See? She is a real wordsmith. I don't know where she gets her talent from. It's kind of like just something she stumbled upon. But anyway, but okay. So Philip died in 2021, and I made this point earlier. I posted earlier that, well, let me see here. I did make this point earlier, and it had to do with the Queen's, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for? Well, anyway, her disposition or how she felt at the time when Philip died. So he's saying that there was kind of a mournful atmosphere. And by the way, I did not read the article because I figured it was something stupid. But looking at the headline, going forward and things, oh my God, now I'm doing it. And because it's a family that's, achieved a lot. Going forward and things, they achieved a lot. What the hell was I about to say? Oh. I know what I was going to say. The Queen had other stuff on her mind. Her husband of however many years, in all likelihood, was having an affair with Penny Natchbull, and I don't care. Also, the Queen was forced to go into her savings account and pull out over 12 million pounds. We don't really know what the actual settlement was, but do you think the Queen was angry at Meghan, a new mom, right? A new mom who decided not to travel 5,000 miles to go to Philip's funeral during the height of a global pandemic. Do you really think that Queen Elizabeth II, having just lost her partner of however many years, and then also, yeah, it was like over 70 years they were married, right? That's 70 something years, right? Yeah, I guess so. So she lost her partner of some 70 years. She just had to pay out over 12 million pounds to someone, or that is for someone, who definitely didn't do anything to somebody that he never met. And then on top of that, we're in a global pandemic. And the Queen herself realized that she was not well. And so, with all of this going on, Queen Elizabeth could not take the time to think about her dead husband. She could not take the time to think about that 12 plus million pounds that she just paid for someone who didn't do something to somebody he never met. None of that stuff happened. None of it. But the point is, the Queen had to pay for it anyway. Whether it happened or not, and in all likelihood, it did. But whether it happened or not, the Queen had to pay. So there's a lot of stuff that was going on at the time that Meghan stayed home and did not come to the UK. And I would not suspect the Queen would have expected her to put down her infant child or children. How many did she have at that point? And to leave Montecito. Just like you have these crackpots saying, well, if Meghan missed her children, she should have had them flown over. No, she shouldn't have. She should have left them where they were. Let's see, one child and pregnant with Lily. There you go. There you go. Now that 5,000 miles, that is a long way to go just to find out that what is it? Penny Matchbox or whatever her name is. That's a long way to go just to find out that there were three of us in this marriage, if you know what I mean, right? If there were three of them, there was a Windsor, there was a Mountbatten, and there was a Natchbull. Anyway, you guys, they are speaking quite freely about Prince Philip's affairs and even Queen Elizabeth having an affair with Porky or whatever his name was. What was the guy's name? Pudgy, Porky, Porgy, whatever his name was. The Queen and Philip had a very open marriage for a long time, and now people want to talk about it. I hope so. Anything that can take some of the heat off of the Sussexes, I'm here for it. Henrietta Phillips, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for joining us. And you know what? Since we're talking freely about affairs, maybe this will finally put to rest a question that I've had for some time. And that is, of course, Princess Anne. Who are her real parents? It's certainly not Philip and Lizzie. It's not them. I tend to think that Princess Anne's kinfolks come from the other side of the equator. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been hinting at for a while. You see what I'm saying? And y'all know they love purple. Everybody know black people love purple. Black people with that purple on, and you can't tell them nothing, honey. Yeah, when I saw her wearing that purple, I said, you know what? I understand her. We are cut from the same cloth. And of course, there is the maternal side of her family. Let's not forget that. There you go. That's the other side of the family right there. Like a hand to a glove, isn't it? She just fits right in. She got on that Lou Rawls butterfly collar. You'll never find till the end of all time someone who love you like I do. Look at her wearing that Lou Rawls butterfly collar. I mean, when you look at her, can't you just imagine Princess Anne singing, "You're gonna miss my loving when it's cold outside. You're gonna miss my loving. And I know, you're gonna miss my love." Yeah, I could imagine Princess Anne sitting up there singing Lou Rawls. You'll never find. Oh man. She could do it. And the thing is, she looked just like that lady with the hat on, don't she? Look just like her. See how they hold their mouth the same way? And look at her little great nephew, Ray Ray. Ray Ray just smiling. And the little girl, isn't she adorable? She's sitting there like, who this white woman? Mama, who this white woman? Don't you know that's your kinfolk? Didn't you see them Newports in her pocket? That's your family. And family sticks together. Family is invited to the barbecue. So leave her be. That's your kinfolk. She one of us. Right down to her afro sheen and her hair pick. She one of us. And speaking of barbecue, right on. Yeah. Well, that's our Afro Annie. She just one of the family at the barbecue, ready to play the dozens if it comes to that. Yep, ready to play the dozens if it comes to that. Let's hope it ain't no trouble. You don't start none, there won't be none. Now, we're going to finish up today with this. I just happened to come across a photo earlier, and I was intrigued by it because I do believe I know that area very well. Um, as you know, I have been a lifelong Chicagoan, and though I have gone to so many corners of this world we live in, um, let me see here. That's You see there? View of the Rolls Royce automobile owned by Chicago Defender publisher Robert Abbott and his chauffeur outside the Abbott House located at 4742 Martin Luther King Drive. Now, back in those days, it wasn't known as Martin Luther King Drive. I believe it was called South Park Drive or something. South Park Boulevard. Well, that house belonged to a giant in the publishing industry. But enough about the house. Do you mean to tell me that this black man owns a Rolls Royce back in those days? Look at that car. That looks like the one that they use as a prop on Downton Abbey. I am so impressed. Now, if you take a look there on the right, that is a view of the house as it appears today. Oh, yeah. She, you know, um, in her youth, they used to call her Annie the Blade. You never knew where it came from. Next thing you know, you feel something hot running down your arm. You know what I'm saying? You start feeling something hot. Uh, but yeah, look at that beautiful car. I was like, how come I didn't know about this? Well, I certainly knew of the Chicago Defender. And by the way, like I said, this is what we're going to finish with today. So if you guys have to get going, if it's late for you or something like that, you could always come back and look at this later. Um, but yeah, I was very, very impressed. And the thing is, Ida B. Wells lived down the street from him. Ida B. Wells' house isn't far away. The Ida B. Wells. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this guy. Um, what's that? Okay, Robert Abbott, the Chicago Defender, famous black newspaper. So Robert Sing is it Sinstack Abbott. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know I messed that up. He was born December 24th, 1870, 5 years after slavery was abolished. December the 24th. That's Christmas Eve, right? This man was born on Christmas Eve. And wait, get this. If you think that that's interesting and unique to be born on Christmas Eve, he died February the 29th, 1940, leap year. He died on leap year, February 29th. February 29th. How random is that? It only comes around, what, every 4 years? Every 4 years. As the earth rotates around the sun 365 and a quarter days a year. And this guy just happens to be born on leap year. Yeah, leap year. So, so Robert Abbott was an American lawyer, newspaper publisher, and editor. Abbott founded the Chicago Defender in 1905, which grew to have the highest circulation of any Black owned newspaper in the country. Abbott founded the Bud Billiken Day Parade in August of 1929. The parade, which has developed into a celebration for youth education and African American life in Chicago, is the second largest parade in the United States. I repeat, the second largest parade in the United States. In his early life and education, Abbott was born on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1870, in St. Simons, Georgia. Although some sources state Savannah, Georgia, to Freeman parents. And I guess that means that obviously they were not slaves, but oh well, let me continue here. I got to check out that term freeman. Well, let me see, freedman. All right. That's kind of a lengthy explanation. I'll do that another time. All right. Who had been enslaved before American Civil War. Oh, so they were recently freed. Freedman parents. Okay. The Sea Island were a place of the Gullah people. Oh, I've heard of the Gullah people, an African descended ethnic group who maintained African inherited cultural traits more strongly than many African Americans in other areas of the South. Now, if I'm correct, the Gullah people didn't they kind of just left them alone, because the Gullah people, they lived in that like very wet area where they would just they kind of did their own thing for the most part, I think, if I'm correct about that. Oh, I wish I can go and look at that now, but I'll wait and do that on my own. Yeah, so they maintained their African roots more strongly than most Africans in the United States at that time. His father, Thomas Abbott, died when Robert was a baby, and his widowed mother, Flora Abbott, and later on became Flora Butler, met and married John Sinstack, a mixed race man of unusual background who had recently come to the United States from Germany. His father his stepfather came to the United States from Germany. Now, how interesting is that? What's that Mad World said? There was recently a black man pulled over for driving a Bentley. The cop was heard saying, "What a black man doing driving a car like that?" K9 didn't find anything, yet they still tried to find something. You know, that's weird too, because that's what they used to say years ago when they would see a black man in a Cadillac. Where you get that car from? Wow, some things never change, do they? Okay. Wow. Okay. Their son John was born next. Tama died soon after their second child. A daughter was born, and Herman took the children back to Germany to be raised by family. Wow. That is very unusual. I mean, they're going back and forth to Germany like that. Okay, so I'm going to skip all of that. I just want to get to that car if I can. Abbott tried to set up a law practice working for a few years in Gary, Indiana, and Topeka, Kansas. He returned home to Georgia for a period, went back to Chicago, where he could see changes arriving with thousands of new migrants from the rural South as a part of the Great Migration. Now, the Chicago Defender, after settling in Chicago in 1905, Abbott founded, oh, let me take that away. Abbott founded the Chicago Defender. With an initial investment of 25 cents, the equivalent of $9 in 2024, he started printing in a room at his boarding house. His landlady encouraged him, and he later bought her an 8-room house. Isn't that something? His landlord at the boarding house encouraged him, and once he struck it big, he bought her an 8-room house. Thank you very much for believing in me. I love that. He wanted to push for job opportunities and social justice. He was eager to persuade Black people to leave the segregated Jim Crow South for Chicago. A key part of his distribution network was made up of African American railroad porters who were highly respected among Black people. And by 1925, they organized a union as the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. They often sold or distributed newspapers on trains. Defender circulations reached 50,000 by 1916, 125,000 by 1918, and more than 200,000 by 1920. Credited with contributing to the great migration of rural Southern Black people to Chicago, the Defender became the most widely circulated Black newspaper in the country. It was known as America's Black newspaper. Its success resulted in Abbott becoming one of the first self-made millionaires of African American descent. His business expanded as African Americans moved to the city and became an urbanized northern population. From the early 1920s through the 1940s, 1.5 million people moved to major cities in the Northeast and Midwest. They were eager to know about conditions to find housing and to learn more about their new lives in cities. Most were from rural areas of the South, and from 1890 to 1908, all Southern states had passed constitutions or laws that raised barriers to voter registration and effectively disenfranchised most Black people and many poor whites. They were utterly closed out of the political system. Schools and other public facilities reserved for Black people were typically underfunded and ill maintained. Legislators imposed Jim Crow conditions, producing facilities, that is, for Black people that were separate but never equal. Isn't that something? Look at these guys here. Look at them. Dressed to the nines. What year is that? This is 1921, Chicago Defender Charities edition, editorial staff meet to carry out the vision of founder and publisher Robert Abbott. Well. I love that picture. I love that picture. Let me see. Where did I leave off here? Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit of that. The Defender told stories of earlier migrants to the North, giving people hope to disenfranchise, giving hope, that is, to the disenfranchised and oppressed people in the South of other ways to live. Abbott, through his writing in the Chicago Defender, expressed those stories and encouraged people to leave the South for the North. He even set a date of May 15, 1917, for what he called the Great Northern Drive to occur. In this weekly, he showed pictures of Chicago and had numerous classifieds for housing. In addition, Abbott wrote about how awful a place like the South was to live in comparison to the idealistic North. Abbott's word described the North as a place of prosperity and justice. This persuasive writing thereby made this journal probably the greatest stimulus that the migration ever had. Oh, okay. It says here Abbott was a fighter, a defender of rights. He listed 9 goals as the Defender's Bible. Number 1, American race prejudice must be destroyed. Number 2, opening up all trade unions to Black people as well as whites. Number 3, representation in the president's cabinet. He don't ask for much, does he? Number 4, hiring Black engineers, firemen, and conductors on all American railroads and to all jobs in government. Number 5, representation in all departments of police forces over the entire United States. I like this guy. Number 6, government schools giving preference to American citizens before foreigners. Damn, he sounds like a Republican, don't he? Number 7, hiring Black motormen and conductors on surface, elevated, or motor bus lines throughout America. Number 8, federal legislation to abolish lynching. Number 9, full enfranchisement of all American citizens. You know, he should have ran for president. So, in case you didn't know him, that, of course, is Robert Abbott, the founder of the Chicago Defender. And that house is still standing. Take a look at that Rolls Royce, though. I cannot get over that car. Actually, that one on the left is not a Rolls Royce. At least it's not a 4-door. That's a coupe. And again, there's the house today. Now, as you can see, what would you call that? A duplex? There's the 2 houses that mirror each other. I'm going to imagine that the one on the left, you see the entrance is kind of on the side there, but you can see the roof right there where it's actually 2 houses. Now, that house was built back in 1900. I think it was 1900. Quite a piece of architecture there. I would say that it is of the Queen Anne style. Yeah, I'm going to call it Queen Anne. Robert S. Abbott House is historic house in the Grand Boulevard community area of Chicago, built in 1900. It was the home of Robert S. Abbott, founder and publisher of the Chicago Defender, the most circulated African American newspaper in the nation from 1926 up until his death in 1940. His home was designated a National Historic Landmark status in 1976. So it is protected. That house is now protected. That is Mrs. Abbott right there. Well, I tell you, they are very Downton Abbey, aren't they? Very Downton Abbey. You know, it's just like with the Gilded Age. There were some very elite Black people that most people never knew existed. This is part of that African American heritage. And take a look there. One of the most racist mayors in the history of the city of Chicago, Mayor Richard J. Daley. No, Richard M. Daley. No, J. Daley. Mayor Richard J. Daley on the right. And on the left, Harry S. Truman. And in the middle, that is Robert Abbott's son, who took over the newspaper. Gosh, what was his name? Anyway, that's Robert Abbott's son. No doubt that this is the 1950s because Truman ran for his second term. I think it was 1951, something like that. Anyway, that is Truman running again for president. And this has to be 1955 or better because Richard Daley did not become mayor until 1955. So yeah, this is like the late 50s. Yeah, the late 50s, mid to late 50s. And I think, I don't know which street they're on. This is probably the Bud Billiken parade. So they're probably on the south side. Yeah, I think they're on the south side. They're on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, as we call it today. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that bit of African American history. And just think, all of this started just because I saw a Rolls Royce in front of a house and I just had to know more about it. If you have any final comments or anything, now is the time. Anybody gonna go dressed up as Kate Middleton for Halloween? All you need is about 5 or 6 synthetic wigs. Or maybe if you want to be lucky, 7. Angela May, thank you so much for being here. Look at them looking like they work in one of them houses. And look at Kate humiliating the queen by showing up in little or nothing. Like she's wearing Las Vegas showgirl couture. It's what every showgirl wears on their off day, for formal occasions, like the reading of a will from one of their rich daddies. That's what that looks like. If you were married to a sugar daddy and you go into the reading of the will, that's exactly what you want to wear. In case you don't make out well from the will, you could always wear something revealing in case there's another old man around somewhere. What happened to brunette today with 2 rows of blonde? uh, well, see, that's the magic of Kate's hair. She's brunette, she's blonde, she's a ginger, she's all of those things, but at the same time, at the same time. I wonder if she really thought that she was going to go blonde and nobody was going to say anything. I think she really had the intentions of going completely blonde over time and that the public was going to say absolutely nothing. And what's really disturbing is the fact that the tabloid media actually tried to cover for her. Well, it was just the sunlight, and she's been on a lot of vacation lately. And well, we all know the sun would bleach your hair. Well, see, all of that was fine until Kate showed up. You know what I'm saying? When Kate showed up looking like Kate, that ruined the whole thing. That really blew it. When Kate showed up looking so strange and bizarre, that whole little explanation that they gave, and well, it just sunk. It literally sunk to the bottom of the lake. She made them look ridiculous. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodnight, you guys. Kate Middleton's latest hair change on full display after previewing blonde summer highlights. Well, I tell you what, those highlights have become lowlights, low floodlights. What we are looking at is a cry for help. This is someone's plea for help. What they're saying is, I'm rich, I'm privileged, my parents are broke, and I'm stuck with Willie. Hello, Ivy here. Ivy, we were just about to leave. Thank you so much for joining us. Joy and more, you are quite welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of today. Okay, with that, you guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Love you all. I will catch you next time. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And don't forget to keep watching With Love, Meghan. Now is just a long wait so we can hear whether or not they're going to renew it. God, I pray they do. I really, really pray that they do. Well, we know there's a Christmas special coming up. So maybe there's nothing to say. So, guys, don't get nervous because for certain, we still have a Christmas special. And maybe that's what they're working on before they're going to make any more announcements. We're going to get that Christmas special in the can. Okay? And it is going to be a doozy. I cannot wait. I hope it's 2 hours long. Okay? I hope it's 2 hours long. Okay, cheers. Love you. So long. Goodbye. And don't forget to pray for all of the people in the Sussex squad that are going through adversity right now, whether they are being treated for cancer or in the process of mourning a loss or any type of injuries, make sure you keep them in your prayers. Like Jerry White is going through a really tough time right now because she's caring for a loved one while at the same time she's in need of care. So I'm pretty sure with her family, it's all hands on deck. But nothing is insurmountable as long as we believe. Okay? Thank you, Connie Balmer. All right. Let me put something back up top there. And don't forget, those of you that have memberships, there is a video that I made earlier. And if you don't have a membership, you'll be able to watch it later. Okay? Cheers.